Hey there, tech fans. Today I've got the brand new HOVSCO HovRanger 27.5-inch e-bike. This is a brand new product from the company, and it includes a lot of really advanced features that you may not find in other e-bikes on the market, because HOVSCO is a company that's been producing e-bikes and e-scooters for a long time, and they really understand what it takes to build a quality product. Now, I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about the specifications of the bike, and that's a great way to compare one bike against another, but I also want to give you a little bit of insight into how the features work and why they make a difference, because I've been riding this bike for a couple of weeks, and I've tested a lot of e-bikes over the years, and I have to tell you, this one is hands down my favorite e-bike right now. I've been riding it on hills, I've been riding it out in the country, and it just gets the job done, and it's so much fun to ride. So let's get started with the basic specifications. All right, so the motor in this e-bike is a 500-watt motor that can actually surge to 970 watts when needed. And you might be wondering, when would that motor ever surge? Well, the e-bike can be ridden like a regular bike, so you don't need to turn the motor on at all. But if you want some assistance, if you want a little extra help when you're out there riding and there's a big hill coming up, you can turn on the electronics, and you have 5 different settings for what's called pedal assist system, which basically keeps track of how you're pedaling and what kind of torque you're applying to the pedals against what the challenge is ahead of you, that hill, and it'll add just the right amount of energy to that back motor to make that hill disappear. It's absolutely incredible how cool that feature is. So you can turn that on and you can go from level 1 to level 5 depending on how tired you are and how hilly the particular area is that you're biking in. Now for me, I'll pretty much ride the bike as a bike for a long period of time, but if I get pretty far away from home and it's starting to get late in the day and I'm getting a little bit tired, I'll put it on 4, and that pedal assist system really helps. It's like having somebody on the back of the bike, almost in a tandem situation, that's helping me pedal that bike home. So I like it an awful lot. In addition to that, the bike will actually travel for 40 miles completely on electric, or 60 miles in a pedal assist situation. So if you don't want to pedal at all, you can use the electric to tool around the neighborhood or tool around your area, but you're only going to get about 40 miles out of it. But if you're using the pedal assist system, where you're pedaling occasionally and you're using the motor occasionally, you can get up to 60 miles a distance. The bike will do a top speed of 28 miles an hour, which is incredibly fast. Always wear your helmet when you're on this bike, because you can't go flying off the bike at 28 miles an hour and come out of that smiling. So make sure you've got that helmet on. But 28 miles an hour is right under the limit for not having to worry about licensing and testing and all the rest of it. So it gives you plenty of speed to get from here to there and comfortably get there quickly if you need to. In addition to that, it's got disc brakes on the front and disc brakes on the back that are both hydraulic. So when you stop the bike, you have a lot of control over how slowly you come to a halt. When you grab both of these, it's going to stop on a dime. So it's incredibly good and responsive for your brakes. It also has adjustable shocks on the front, because you'll notice it's an on-road and off-road bike. So it's sort of a combination bike. Now, I've been riding it on the streets around my home and around the park, and it's been great. I haven't taken it off-road yet. I want to do that next, but I wanted to keep it nice and clean for the review. So I'll put some footage up and show you what that looks like. The one thing I do want to talk about, though, is this digital control center on the front. You can also tie this to an application, so you can tether your app to it over Bluetooth. And if you get a phone clamp, you can put it on your handlebars up here, and you can see exactly what's going on. But this will keep track of how far you've ridden, how fast you're going, how much battery power is left, and you can read all that right here in the digital display. And then if you tie it to your phone, it'll keep track over a longer period of time. So that's really nice. If, say, for example, it's the springtime and you want to get out on your bike and you want to keep track of how far you're going every week, using that application will help you do that. The controls are really easy to reach. I really like these rubber grips on both sides. There's a little pad on the bottom right here that you can rest your palms on, but these are attached really tightly to the handlebars. They're not like a lot of the e-bikes where you can spin them and maybe they'll pop off when you're riding. In addition to that, the speed control is right here on the handlebars, so all you do with your left thumb is just push that gently. It'll add just the right amount of power to that back motor. And then all your controls are over here, so you can turn the bike on with a power button. You can use the plus and minus to adjust through those 5 levels of pedal assist that I'd mentioned a minute ago about. Then you also have another button over here for the lights. Now, in addition to that, you've got speeds on this side. So it's a 7-speed bike, and for me, I typically keep it in maybe 4 or 5 and higher when I'm going up the hills, because obviously you want to add some extra torque on that back end, and keeping it in like 6 or 7 will really allow you to catch up on that hill and have that power added on the back. The seat is adjustable. There's a little finger hold right here. You can pop it and pull the seat up. In addition to that, you have some adjustments on the front fork as well if you need to do that. But for me, it's an incredibly durable bike. And the battery is housed right in here. It's a pretty powerful battery. It's 720 watt hours of energy in that battery. It takes a couple of hours to fully charge it. You can remove the battery so that if you're putting it in a place where you're not quite sure if people are going to fool around with it, you can pop the battery out. There's a key port on the one side. You'll unlock it. You'll pull a little lever on the bottom here, you'll twist it, and the battery will pop out. You can take it in the house and charge it. I like the fact that I can remove that battery. That's just another way for me to keep the battery healthy, because this type of lithium polymer technology doesn't do real well in hot weather or cold weather. So if you park this in your garage over the summer or over the winter, more importantly, make sure you take that battery out and bring it in the house to protect it and make sure you get the longest life out of it. In addition to that, it's got quality derailleurs on the back. It's really built as sort of a performance bike. But in addition to that, it's an off-road bike and it's an e-bike. So, I mean, it's got everything you could possibly want in a single bike. It's not light, I can tell you that. It's 56 pounds with the battery in. So if you're gonna lift it up onto a carrier in the back of your car, just, eat your Wheaties that morning or have somebody help you lift it up onto that carrier. But that's about average. I just hit the button there. That's about average for an e-bike as far as weight goes. Now you can take the battery out, which is what I do when I lift it up into my carrier, and that takes a couple of pounds off for the battery. But in general, I mean, they've just done a wonderful job. This is available in 2 different finishes. The one I have here is sort of a matte gray, which I like an awful lot. It's almost like a textured gray, which looks great. They also have a beautiful blue version of it as well. So if you like the blue version, go with that. If not, this one works really well. Now, as far as accessories go, what you see here is the basic bike. It's got the kickstand in the back that comes with it. Obviously, it's assembled very easily, and then they include tools with the kit to show you, how to put it together. There's a video online. But basically, you're popping a tire on, you're fixing the front fork, you're tightening that up, and all the tools you need to do that installation are included with the kit. But in addition to that, if you want other accessories, they make a back rack, which I think is a really good idea. So if you're going to ride this around, you can put a small rack on the back to carry packages back from the store. They make a front rack as well if you want that. They make a fender kit, so if you'd rather have fenders on here, if you're riding off-road a lot and it's kicking up a lot of dirt and mud, you'll have those fenders to protect you. All those are additional accessories. And the nice thing is, everything on the bike is ready to go. So there are already posts there if you want to put the back rack on. There are posts up front for the front rack. The one thing I did add, this isn't standard, is the bottle holder. And what's interesting is that over the years, there's been standards developed for mounting products on a particular bike. And you can pretty much use any water bottle holder on the bike. And those studs are there as well. So all I did was get online, find a bottle holder I liked, and I bolted it on the bike. But in addition to that, I just have to tell you that with all the e-bikes I've tested, really what it comes down to for me is, number one, how easy is it to charge? How easy is it to ride? And more importantly, what does it look like over the long term, like over the summer? Like when I start riding it in, say, April or May, is it really in good shape come September? This one I've only been riding it about a month at this point, and I can tell you it's holding up really well. Nothing's coming loose, everything feels solid. It's really built as high-end engineering as far as the fit and finish go, and it really looks professional on the road, but for me the ride is so comfortable, and that's because of the shock up front and the ability for me to control how much that pedal assist actually helps me. I probably should explain that a little bit further too. So when you look into something like a pedal assist system on e-bikes, there's really 2 schools of thought there. There's a cadence sensor and there's a torque sensor. Now the torque sensors tend to be a lot more responsive, and they're usually found on higher end bikes. The cadence sensor is a simpler system that's usually found on budget bikes and really simple bikes. This uses a torque sensor. And really what the difference is the cadence sensor has a little sensor that's on the pedals. So when you move the pedals, it knows you're pedaling, and it kind of can roughly estimate how fast you're pedaling, and it'll add energy to that back motor. But the problem with a cadence sensor is that it tends to be very jerky. It's a very digital approach. So what you'll find on a bike with a cadence sensor is that when you start pedaling, it kicks in immediately and you'll feel a jolt. And then as you change your cadence on the pedaling, it'll jolt and it'll jolt back down and jolt up again. So it's a very, I can't describe it any other way than saying it's a digital effect where you can feel it kind of jerking forward. But this one uses that torque sensor, which is more of an analog approach where it adds just the right amount of energy, and it can add it and pull it back over a nice slow period. So it's more natural. And I have to tell you, the first time I used this bike, it's the first one I've had with a torque sensor on it. And when I first approached that hill down the street from my house, I couldn't believe it because I'm pedaling thinking, boy, I've really got to pedal to get up this hill. And I started pedaling and that pedal assist system kicked in. And it was really like there was somebody on the back of the bike adding their pedaling to my pedaling to get me up that hill. And like I said earlier, it makes the hill disappear. It's like the hill wasn't even there. And if you're watching me when I'm pedaling up that hill, I probably look strange because my feet are not moving fast enough to actually get me up the hill, but it's because of that motor kicking in the back end with that torque assist system that really makes the difference. So for me, this is a reasonably priced bike. It's got all the features I want. It's got digital display. It's got the hydraulic brakes on it. It's got the torque-based pedal assist system built in, which again is the high-end system. So if you're looking for an e-bike, this may be the one for you. I like it an awful lot, and I promise you there'll be other clips coming where I'll talk more about the features and maybe go a little bit deeper into that pedal assist system. But for now, that's pretty much it. So thanks an awful lot for watching, and I hope you found this review helpful.